So the whole UFC fight night Gutierrez versus Yadong card is wrapped up. So I'm just going to break down how all the fights went. But I'm going to try and speed through this. I've mentioned it in my other two videos. I'm not a drama queen, I swear to God, but I do have a very bad migraine and headache right now. So I'm just not going to be super talkative, but I will just speak on every fight, what happened, etc., etc. You know the drill. So for the first fight of the night, we had uh, Almcar. We had Rayan dos Santos versus Talita Alcar. I thought Rayan dos Santos clearly won this fight. Giving that to Talita Alcar is just a fucking horrible decision in my opinion. It was really worrying me that there were going to be a bunch of robberies on this card because there's no way. Like, Alan Card didn't do any damage. She was getting beat up. But they gave it to Alan Card for some reason. Judges are going to judge. They are just fucking stupid, let's be real, man. Anyway, moving on, we had Tatsuro Taira versus Carlos Hernandez. Just a really good performance here from Tatsuro Taira. I mean, if we're being honest, this was pretty much a gimme fight for Tatsuro Taira. Like, I didn't really see what way is Carlos Hernandez going to win. I did think if he had a chance, it was going to be with the striking, but Tatsuro Taira fucking flipped the switch here. Actually got it done with his striking himself, which was very impressive because from what I've seen in his striking against Edgar Chairez, his hands were non-existent. He didn't have very good striking, so the fact that he did get a finish with his strikes, especially so soon after that fight was in July, is actually very impressive from Tatsuro Taira. I did say in a video that I did think he was a bit overrated. I still not saying he's a future champion, definitely, but maybe I was a little bit wrong on him. I think he is actually a very good fighter, and I would pick him to beat Muhammad Mokaev, who he called out. That's not going to happen. Muhammad Mokaev got booked against Alex Perez, so yeah, no, you wasted your call out a little bit there, pal. But still, good performance. We'll say though, the fight IQ from Carlos Hernandez was a little bit strange. He was having some success, like he was stuffing the takedowns and everything, and then he went for a takedown and got reversed. Like, I thought that was very weird from him to go for the grappling, considering I'm pretty sure he's more of a boxer than a grappler, but yeah, I don't know. Very weird. I thought that was a very weird decision from Carlos Hernandez, but obviously maybe he felt something on the feet. He didn't want to, he didn't want to feel that again. But Tatsuro Taira gets it done by KO. So that was impressive. That actually did catch me off guard. I didn't think he would win that way, but again, it's not like Carlos Hernandez is a world beater, so I'm not expecting him to go in there and KO the top 10 guys or anything like that. But obviously, he is rounding out his game, which is impressive. They were saying that he was training with Corey Sandhagen at Team Elevation, so that was good to hear. You know, it's crazy that him and Corey Sandhagen are only a division apart, though, when you think about it. Corey Sandhagen's fucking massive compared to Tatsuro Taira, but still, very good performance from Tatsuro Taira. Let's give this guy a ranked opponent. He's 15 and 0. No more fucking unranked guys. You're 15 and 0. I get he's like 22, 23 years old, but let's give him a fucking ranked fighter now. He was booked against David Dvorak. Let's rebook that fight. That's a good test. Then moving on, we had my wife Liana Santos versus Stephanie Edgar. So my wife Liana Santos gets this one done. Luckily, she's not really my wife, but she is very beautiful. It wasn't a great fight, if we're being honest, but I wasn't complaining. It was good to see Liana Santos clinching against the fence, not for fight reasons or entertainment reasons, but you know, it was good to look. But yeah, Liana Santos, she gets this one done. I had no problem with the decision. I thought she got it done. Maybe I was a bit biased. Maybe I had a bit of a simp bias here because, god damn. Oh, there was also a wardrobe malfunction. I didn't fully see it. I just seen Stephanie Edgar covering her tits, which was very gentlewomanly of her. You know, she was literally like, obviously Stephanie Edgar reads her Bible or something. She doesn't want that fucking nudity on the TV or something like that. You know, it was her right to censor. She did it. Uh, yeah, that was like some really good sportsmanship. I'm not gonna lie, like the fact she covered up her nipple and everything, that was pretty cool of her to do. You know, especially you go from that to beating the shit out of each other again. But still, good performance, I guess. But not the most entertaining fight. But Liana Santos, reply to my DMs, please. Steve Garcia versus Mel Queasel Costa. Really good performance here from Steve Garcia. You know, like Steve Garcia is such a weird fighter to pick fights for because he'll get dropped all over the place by Charlie Ontiveros. He'll get KO'd out cold by Mahashate, Hader Mahashate, and then then he'll go on a fucking free fight winning streak, beating the absolute shit out of Chase Hooper, beating up Loriana Teng. Is that no? I'm thinking of the wrong guy. Chinese guy. Oh fuck man. His name is Shaolin Nerambake. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Really good performance here though from Steve Garcia. He was getting taken down. He was sort of getting clinched up, and then he just had like a fuck you moment and just absolutely blasted him. Uh, Blasted Costa with some big shots. Took him down. Elbowed the fuck out of his face. Bloodied and bruised him up. He was like, nah. He was thinking, what am I waiting for? I gotta, he was like, oh fuck, I have a doctor's appointment. He quickly got the finish there so he could get to his doctor's appointment or something. He had somewhere to be, I'm not quite sure. But he beats the shit out of Costa. And good. He was fighting very boringly, so I'm not opposed to Steve Garcia going in there. Think, I think this is like one of the only fights I got wrong on this card. Actually, yeah, let me check. What fights did I get correct? So I picked Dos Santos. I think Dos Santos won, but I guess technically she didn't. I picked Tyra. I picked Santos. I picked Costa. I picked Park Hun Sung. I picked Kevin Doucette. I picked Yadong. I picked Roundtree. I picked Nazareth. I picked Elliott. I picked the Iron Turtle. That's where I got wrong. So I got 3 fights wrong. Okay. But anyway, good performance from Steve Garcia. Then we had Park Hun Sung versus Shannon Ross. I like Shannon Ross. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a very nice guy. I've spoken to him before. But I don't think he's UFC caliber, and it's just doing his health a disservice having him in the UFC because he's just taking so much damage. I also think he's a bit past it at this point as well. I don't think he came into the UFC in his prime. Not that I'm saying he would have been a world beater or anything in his prime, but he obviously would have fared a bit better. But yeah, I just think it's time to cut him. I think he will be cut. He's on a 4-fight losing streak now, I believe. And yeah, all by TKO/KO. Like, he's taken so much damage. Probably should retire. Maybe he goes for one more fight on the Australian regional scene or something like that, but I'm not quite sure what he does. But I think that's it for Shannon Ross. But still, even though he didn't have a good career, at least he can say he was in the UFC and had 3 fights. And at least this fight, he fared a bit better in this fight, I will say. He was actually putting up a bit more of a fight here than his other fights. I mean, obviously his other fights were sub 60-second KOs, so that is a bit that is something easy to achieve. But he actually was starting to find his timing, and he was actually getting some, he was cooking a little bit in that second round. He was actually starting to cook. But then he got a body shot, which shut his body down, and then yeah, he got a bit of a beating. But hey, I was glad to see him actually get to put up a bit of a fight here. I don't mean this in like a negative way. I'm not trying to shit on him. I just mean it was good to see him actually get to put up a bit of offense and not just get completely ran through. So if that is it for him, at least he got to show people a little bit of that dog in him. He took so much damage though. I don't even think Park's that powerful or anything. I just think Shannon Ross has taken that much damage. I'm pretty sure he's more of a grappler too, so, the fact he went in there and finished him with the hands is not a good sign. But, anyway, yeah, good performance here for the Korean flyweight. Then we had Kevin Doucette versus Song Kanan. I spoke about this one briefly. Kevin Doucette just put on a striking masterclass here. Jab, jab, fucked up his face, leg kick, body attacks. Just really beat the fuck out of him. Didn't get knocked down like Ian Gary. Won every single round, unlike Ian Gary. Not saying that means anything, I'm just saying. Unlike Ian Gary, he didn't get dropped by Song Kanan. But also, unlike Ian Gary, he didn't finish it, but he did put a massive beating on him. He didn't get to have a post-fight interview either. Maybe he would have called out Ian Gary again, but good performance. It's crazy to see Kevin Doucette on this run, considering he lost to Caleb Breithout, literally last year. So I reckon Caleb Breithout will probably be a guy we see in the UFC. He's got a fight in February against Eldon Bates, which is actually a really good fight on Eternal. So maybe with that fight, you can just push him right into the UFC, seeing the success Kevin Doucette's happening. Or maybe not. He is very young still. He's like 26 years old. So who knows? But yeah, Caleb Breithout, very good fighter. Just to give a big a quick plug to Kevin to Caleb Rideout. Sorry, I'm really stumbling over my words here. But yeah, good performance from Kevin Doucette. He looked really good. Uh, it's like Blood Diamond was never in the UFC. You know, we got the prototype CKB welterweight now, which is good to see. Then moving on, we had Andre Muniz versus Park Young Young, the Iron Turtle. This fight was pretty bad, if we're going to be honest. This was probably the worst fight on the main card besides that main event. Like, Jesus Christ, don't even get me started on that main event again. But this was a really good performance for Andre Muniz to show off his grappling, but arguably he could have lost this fight on damage. He could have gave that first and third round to the Iron Turtle on damage. But to be honest, the Iron Turtle has no takedown defense. Like, he was getting taken down by will, and I don't blame him, because if you look at the size difference, Andre Muniz, former light heavyweight, like, this guy fought at light heavyweight multiple times. Iron Turtle was a former welterweight. He looks so undersized there. I don't even know if it's about his takedown defense or if he's just completely undersized, but he took a fucking... I was going to say he took a beating, but he didn't really take a beating, but he was getting taken down and ragdolled at will. He was getting taken down a lot. Andre Muniz just so much bigger and stronger. Even when he was gassed, he was still getting him down. It was cool in the first round where Andre Muniz was ragdolling him, and then the Iron Turtle reversed position and was just landing big shot after big shot on the feet. Arguably could have gave that round to him, but I don't know. I guess I understand if they didn't give it to him. I've seen people saying 10-8 in the second round. Absolutely not. No damage, no 10-8. You can get all the control time if you don't do any damage and completely secure that. You don't get a 10-8. So yeah, no 10-8s in this fight. 29-28 either way was fair, but I sort of thought maybe the Iron Turtle should have got it, but I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to cry robbery over it. My pick was wrong here, but it is what it is, man. Then moving on, up the card, we had Tim Elliott versus Sumaderji. Some guy commented on one of my videos saying I was a casual and that Sumaderji was going to knock Tim Elliott out. Well, you were wrong. You were wrong, buddy. Tim Elliott went in there. He smoked him. Pretty easy to predict. Come on. Get on my level. Get on my fucking level, mate. You know, Tim Elliott lands some good shots on the feet. Doesn't get knocked out. Takes him down. Arm triangle. That's all she wrote. Chokes him out cold. Really good performance from Tim Elliott. Very unorthodox striking as usual, but it was weird. He went in for like a fucking roll and then into a kick. That was like a waste of energy. It didn't really land anything crazy, but you know, I don't know if he was attempting an actual rolling thunder or not. It didn't look very powerful. Maybe that was just some showmanship. I'm not sure, but that was very fucking random if I'm going to be honest. But it was cool. It was cool to see. I mean, really good performance when you think about how short notice he took this fight. You know, like, he took this fight, like, Tuesday, I think, so... Yeah, he didn't have any time to prepare at all, and he just went in there and smoked him. So that was a good performance, you know. Tim Elliott, still in the mix. He said that his title aspirations are probably over, but... You know, Paul Felder giving him some motivation. But he said he'll be fighting forever if he can just get short notice fights and... You know, just fight whenever he wants and all this sort of stuff. So I respect it. The guy's a true fighter. Let's get him versus Kevin Croom going one day. I don't know. I just need to see that fight for the storyline. Bring Kevin Croom back in just to lose to him. Then moving on. Oh, Jamie Malarkey. So Nasrat Haqparast brutally stops Jamie Malarkey. Doesn't knock him out cold, but does like put him out on his feet. And then the referee just let Jamie Malarkey take like 18 fucking shots after he was out on his feet. Like, he was taking a barrage of punches. Jamie Malarkey wasn't looking horrible before he got hit, but like, I did say that chin of Jamie Malarkey's a ticking time bomb. Anytime he gets hit, he gets rocked or dropped at this point. You know, he's taken so much damage and he doesn't let himself recover. 4 fights this year, one of which he got KO'd in. Then he came back, got dropped by John McDessie, and then goes in and gets fucking, you know, smoked by Nasrat Haqparast. Take some time off, Jamie Malarkey. What are you doing? You're like, you know, he's not doing himself any favors here. What does he want to be so active? What's in the rush for? Let your chin recover. You know, that was like a less brutal version of Jarlin Turner versus Bobby Green. Like, the way he was taking them shots while he was out was like cringe-inducing to watch. Like, yeah, he took a lot of unnecessary damage there, in my opinion. Maybe you do him versus Bobby Green next, since they both have taken an ungodly amount of damage. Maybe the loser can drink food from a straw or something. I don't know. But honestly, horrible fucking horrible to see. I like Jamie Malarkey. He's a fun fighter, but he needs to recover a little bit, rest his chin, work on his defense or something. But yeah, every time he gets hit on that chin, it's fucking. He's on skates. At one point he had a granite ass chin. Now he just gets rocked by every shot. Like, I don't even know if it's just a chin issue or if it's just his defense. He leaves himself open so much for these counter shots. But yeah, good performance from Nasrat Hakparas though. He looked good. 3 in a row now, I think. Let me double check that. They said 3 in a row. I know he did beat Landon Quinones. Oh yeah, no, yeah, and he beat McDessie as well. Yeah, never mind. I don't even have to look that up. Yeah, he beat McDessie in Paris. So yeah, 3 in a row. Called for a ranked fighter. I don't think he can get a ranked fighter at this point. Maybe you do him versus Matt Frivola. That'd be a cool fight, I reckon. That would make some sense. Then moving on, we have we had Anthony Smith versus Khalil Roundtree. I briefly spoke about this in my video. Uh, yeah, really good performance from Khalil Roundtree. Nightmare matchup for Anthony Smith, in my opinion. Even on short notice, it wasn't going to be good for Anthony Smith, but he was. He's showing some dog in that fight. He was going forward. Jab, 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 jab. You're taking it from my wife and kids or something. We didn't hear him say that. He didn't need that to motivate himself, so he was obviously pretty motivated in this fight. But yeah, he did take a lot of damage. I don't know if he'll keep fighting or not. He put out a really sad post where he's like, I tried my best, but sometimes that's not enough. I felt really bad for Anthony Smith, if I'm being honest. He shouldn't kick himself too hard. That was a short notice fight. I don't think it would have gone any other way, but I think maybe it would have been a bit more competitive if he had time to prepare. He just looked a bit out of shape. He didn't look peak condition, but what do I know? Well, I don't know what's going through Anthony Smith's head or anything. I don't know what he was doing before he took the fight. But he came in there, had a back and forth fight. That was probably the most entertaining fight Anthony Smith has had in a while. That was actually a fun fight. Uh, but yeah, good performance from Khalil Roundtree. Let's get him versus Nikita Krylov. Winner takes on Jan Blachowicz or something like that. And then we had that shit main event. Chris Gutierrez stunk up the building against Song Yadong. Horrible fight. One of the worst fights of the year, in my opinion. Probably the worst main event. I can't think of the worst main event off the top of my head. Fight sucked. Spoke about it briefly. I'm not going to go on about it again. So thanks for watching this video. Sorry I had to rush it a little bit. Man's head hurts. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far into the video, make sure you leave a like. Let me know your thoughts on the fights in the comment section below. What was your fight of the night? What was your performance of the night? And how shit was that main event? Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully next time I make a video, my head won't be fucking banging. It feels like my head's gonna explode. Maybe that's just because of how shit the main event was. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.